Hi everyone, I'm Victor Vauban Jr., playwright, director, and founder of the BSou Rap Theater Company. Our company have been working in the Bronx and in Manhattan consistently for the last 5 years. I'd like to thank you and welcome you to our first online event ever, Moments of Truth. Moments of Truth is a collection of plays that I have written that tackles a series of issues regarding the human condition. The play we're going to be presenting tonight is called Always and Forever, a romantic comedy that brings and raises a lot of questions that I think it's important for us to talk about them today. And consequently, I encourage you to ask questions, make comments, and then we're going to talk about them at the end of the performance, okay? And right now, I'd like to introduce you our producer, Nikki Reed.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nikki Reed, and thank you for joining us tonight. I've collaborated with Victor on several of his projects. Following the performance, there will be a talk back and a Q&A. We encourage everyone to participate by putting your comments and or questions into the chat box. I would now like to introduce Chad Franklin, our relationship specialist.
Good evening, everyone. I am happy to be here tonight to talk about what I love, relationships, which is a part of all of our lives. So I'm looking forward to speaking with you after the performance. Please give us questions as well.
Thank you so much for joining us, Chad. And it's nice to have you with us. And to keep moving along, let's go to the performance. I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you afterwards. Enjoy.
Enjoy. Act 1, Scene 1. Afternoon, Monday, April 9th, 1976. Curtis sits in a university's courtyard.
There'll always be sunshine when I look at you. Something I can't explain. Just the things that you do. And if you get lonely, call me and take a second to give to me the magic you make. And every day, love me your own special way. Melt on my heart away with a smile, and take time to tell me you really care, and we'll share tomorrow. We'll share tomorrow together. Oh baby, I'll always love you forever.
Who are you talking to?
But nobody. I was practicing for my public speaking class. And what took you so long? I was beginning to think you changed your mind.
No, I didn't. I said I was going to come, and here I am. Sorry, I was caught up in my last class. Professor Johnson held us up another 30 minutes. He wanted to make sure that everybody is ready for the test next week. You know him. You had his classes last summer, right?
I am glad you came.
I won't be able to stay long. I got rehearsal.
Tell me something new.
Don't be silly.
Tell me something that'll make my day.
I am here.
Yeah. Yes, you are. And that's enough to brighten up my day. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just been busy getting ready for the finals, learning new songs. What about you?
I'm doing great. I'm keeping it busy too. Football practice, finals, same old, same old.
Busy is always good. I passed by your football practice the other day and
Oh, an unexpected visit by a secret admirer?
I want to ask you.
You can ask me out on a date anytime. Look, any day, any week, any month, I'm available for you.
No, silly. I want to ask you something.
Shoot.
Why do your teammates call you the Monitor?
I don't know. Maybe because I had a little cat.
A cat? You had a cat?
Yeah, my cat was about this big. One day I left the front door open and he just ran away. I was looking for him everywhere. I didn't know if he had gone this way or that way. Here, there. I was looking for my little friend everywhere. What was I gonna do?
You're so crazy.
Crazy in love I am.
Seriously. Why do they call you the Monitor?
Word has it that this brother that you see here is the strongest and fastest player on the field, destroying the competition like the Greek mythological creature. Half man, half bull.
The Monitor. At a second glance, you do look like a bull. With that well-designed face, all these muscles. I can see the resemblance.
Do you like it?
Yes, I do.
Seriously?
Yes, I am serious. I like it. Sounds powerful. The Monitor.
Well, in that case, I'm the Minotaur and you're my Calliope.
Who and or what is that?
It's the goddess of singing, poetry, eloquence, and beauty.
I like that. A goddess. Beauty and eloquence. Greek?
Yeah, chief of all muses.
I'm more on the side of Oshun.
Who?
Oshun. According to African mythology, she is the queen, the representation of beauty, love, diplomacy, intimacy, and fertility.
Now how do I like that? I really need to be schooled on my African mythology. Let's find a quiet space and you can teach me all about it.
Curtis, stop.
What? Speaking of, it's been almost a week since I've seen you. Do you have a second to think about our last talk?
I did. And I still got a lot of thinking to do.
What else is there to think about? Look, I like you and you like me. We just go from there. You're my girl.
Your girl. I like you. You're tall and strong, easy on the eyes.
Tall and strong. Is that all you see when you look at me? You don't seem to be very interested in me. I feel like a fool sometimes. Guess what? That's what love is, huh? Just chasing after a girl who won't give you the time of her day.
No, don't. It's not like that.
Well, then how is it? Huh? Explain it to me. Look, you never have time to see me, and when you do have time, you don't have much of it. You have to go. What, is there someone else?
No, not at all. Please, You need to be more understanding. I like you.
Like is not love, but it is a beginning.
No, Curtis, don't do that. You're going 90 miles per hour on the highway. We just met a few weeks ago.
3 months ago, plus 2 weeks, 16 hours, and 25, 26, 27, and 30 minutes ago.
3 months ago, okay? Like I said, I like you, but
what? What is it? Oh, go ahead. Oh, you don't want to be seen out in public with the tall and strong and smart, handsome brother who's gonna make you the happiest girl in the entire world? Huh? Oh, are you afraid that all the girls in town will be so jealous to see us together that they'll try anything to separate us?
there's a time for everything in life. And right now, singing and studying are my top priorities. If we were to start something right now, it would just be a distraction from our goals. I'm not interested in dating until I find the right person.
The right person? The right person is right here in front of you, right now. Look. What do you want me to do? What do you need me to do?
Curtis.
Muriel.
Tertullian.
Turla what?
Quintus Septimus Florence Tertullian, most known as Tertullian.
Is that your right guy with that name? What's his name again?
No, silly, the philosopher, Tertullian. He once said, "Indeed, it is best to postpone, lest either complete too little by hurrying."
Or wander too long and complete it. I'm familiar with the quote.
I believe his words. It is wise to postpone and wait a little, never precipitate.
But it doesn't apply to us in that sense, Muriel. Look, there was another much brighter and more practical philosopher who once said that if you wait for the right moment to do the right thing, you grow old, nothing more. Muriel, and that's all this ever will be. You can't cross the same river twice, but that's what life is about. Just living in the now. If we wait for the moment in our lives when everything is absolutely in the right place to do the right thing, we'll never start anything new. Look, the day we were brought into this world, death started its walk. It's walking toward me, toward us, and she's in a hurry.
Now you're scaring me.
But it's true. Stagnation scares me. Look, I see you standing there, so alluring, so full of everything beautiful that it has to offer. Like in a dream. I so much want to kiss you right now. Have you ever kissed somebody before?
Of course I have.
Who?
My mom, my dad, my sisters.
No. That's not what I mean. I mean, one of these silly guys who go crazy when they see a beautiful girl like you. Have you?
No, I'm too young for that.
Not that young. Not in my eyes. Muriel, you're 18 years old, and I'm 19. I'm sure I look fine in your eyes, don't I? Don't you feel attracted to me?
Mom and dad would kill me. Have you ever kissed a girl before?
Of course I have.
Oh, you have, huh?
Many times.
Oh, really?
Yes. In my dreams. She's a very special beauty, like no other. I dream about her every night and kiss her 1,000 times.
And who is this girl? Do I know her? Is she here in this school?
Yes, she is. She's a sociology major. She sings like a nightingale. Man, I chase her all over campus. She's got these two sisters who never make it easy for me to see her. And when I do see her, we have to be away from everyone else's eyes. But she's the girl who will marry me someday, who will make me the happiest man to walk this earth. Now, would she give me the honor to kiss her for the very first time outside of my dreams and be my girlfriend? The star to light up my life until the end of time. It'd be my first and only one.
You seem so certain.
I sure am. As certain as the sun will rise tomorrow.
And why would I do that, Mr. I am so sure of everything? Give me a good reason for that.
Look, I can't only give you one. Look, I can give you as many reasons as you want. First of all, the first time I saw you, I knew you were the one. And second of all, I know you felt the same way I do. And third of all, it's been 3 months since we first met, and I desperately want to kiss you every time I see you.
You got a few points there, mister. But it sounds more like lust than love.
That's because you never gave me the chance to show you that I'm not like these other guys who's just trying to have fun with girls and score. Look, I'm looking for the right one, and I found the right one. She's right here in front of me, and I want to kiss her right now.
We're not supposed to be doing that until we are officially dating. If we date. And besides, I'm too young to be thinking about boys.
Look, I don't want you to be thinking about boys. I want you to be thinking about me in the same way that I'm thinking about you. We got to start somewhere.
You don't strike me as someone who'd go around lying and breaking young girls' hearts.
I don't strike myself either.
I believe you. I'll tell you what. On Saturday, we'll be performing at the auditorium, 7:30 p.m. And I would like for you to come and join us afterwards for a get-together.
A get-together? Where?
At the cafeteria lounge.
That sounds groovy. But I presume your two sisters will be at the cafeteria lounge after the show, watching over you like two ferocious Dobermans.
No, they won't. I mean, they will be there. We sing together. There are rumors that producers are going to be there to check out all the acts.
Producers are coming to see you guys sing?
Not just us, all the groups. There are about 6 to 10 groups performing that night. Bonita said that Barry Gordon might come.
How'd you guys get Barry Gordy to come?
Bonita and Verna met some producers that think they can take us to the next level. They want to give us more visibility. One of them said if everything goes as planned, we can be the next Supremes.
Those two. Your sisters sure do want to be famous. They hate my guts, and they already let me know that they don't want me around you.
They're just a little overprotective sometimes. They don't want me being distracted by any boys. None of us are. We're working hard to see our group take off. That's all.
It's always nice to see you, but I don't know.
Oh, Curtis, please. It'll be fine.
What if I meet you after the show, huh? We can go somewhere else, just the two of us.
Not Saturday night. We have to stay there and meet the producers and be home before 11.
I don't know. Your sisters, these producers, I don't know.
Where's Mr. I am so sure of everything? Already giving up? I want to see you there. Come on.
You do? Well, I have some thinking to do.
What if I sing a song especially for you?
Okay. Now we're talking. Okay, I'll go, but under one condition.
And what condition is that?
That you let me take you to the movies on Sunday. Just you and I, for the first time, enjoying ourselves.
Well, I think it might be possible.
Possible? Is that all you can give me? Look, I want more than a possibility. Look, I want a certainty. It's a yes or no question, and I can't take no for an answer.
Okay, you win. My answer is yes. I will go to the movies with you on Sunday.
Hooray! You won't regret it, my super supreme. Always and forever, each moment with you, it's just like a dream to me that somehow came true.
Oops, time to go. I'll see you at the auditorium.
Come on, girl. Are you gonna leave me like this?
Don't be late. See you there.
Which auditorium?
The Marian Anderson Auditorium in the main building. Don't forget, 7:30 p.m. And bring those lips.
Every day, love me your own special way. Melt on my heart away with a smile. Take time to tell me you really care, and we'll share tomorrow together.
So you're back.
Yes, we are back. So we're going to start our talk back now. And I'm going to start off asking Victor a few questions. And of course, audience, please feel free to send your questions in as well. So Victor, this has all of the trimmings, right, of love. We've got the dance, we've got the push and the pull, we've got the vulnerability, we've got trust, and then we've got insecurity, right? We've got risk, all these different things. In 1976, right? And so I think I want to just start off with the setting. 1976, 2 African-American students, so tell me a little bit about how you decided to come up with the setting on a college campus.
I think it's interesting because how people meet one another, and like it's funny the way it happens, because sometimes you find love or you find someone that you never expect to find in any place. Like college could be one of them, where there are so many people coming back and forth, and it's common people to fall in love when they are in those prime years, learning about life in school. And I think that was a perfect setting for Muriel and Kurt to meet and start a relationship. And I mean, it's not certain yet if they're gonna have a relationship, but it's then in the beginning process of knowing one another and going through those steps where we all go through when you meet someone special. and got to learn about life. And I think the 70s, there was a lot going on in the 70s, and it's also, I think it's a perfect time to really, it's a time that blends well with the personality of the two, the way they are, how they behave, and what they represent. I think it's a good era to put them in as a setting.
Absolutely, and I also think that it's really important because if you're at college, it means that you're already sort of thinking right about your career,
Mhm.
about your future, so that when you have someone saying, "Come on, let's do this now," and then you have a little resistance saying, "Hey," particularly on the female part, I got dreams, right? Women, education is important. We weren't always allowed to have education. I don't know that I can, take this risk with you.
Sure.
But also 1976, the title "Always and Forever." So you've taken almost a love anthem, right? I believe it's Heat Wave, right? That came up with that. And
Yes, yes.
how many babies have been born to that song? How many weddings? How many people have been wedded to that? So this sort of encapsulates, and I'm going to talk to the casting a little bit. But when Always and Forever for that scene, what are you giving us with that? What are you saying about that? Are you giving us a foreshadow, right? Can we see into the future from just the title?
It's interesting because when I started writing this scene, I was not thinking about actually how it's gonna develop. I was just thinking about the content, but I never know which direction it's gonna take. And as I'm looking for inspiration, I moved back to that decade, to the 70s, and I found that song that conveys the song really conveys exactly Kurt's feeling towards Muriel, and I think it's very important the way it comes out, the way it translates, because it's a pure love, pure and love in its essence, and the way that the lyrics says everything about that relationship, about how he feels about her, which it sometimes it can be perceived that as suspicious sometimes, because when someone falls in love the way he does, he falls so hard that we don't see those kind of feelings happen these days um, frequently. So the way he conveys, and that song, I found that song that really conveys every single word his heart is saying. And it was important for me to find that because I think that song conveys everything that needs to be said.
Okay, awesome. I want to talk with the cast a little bit, and we also have questions coming in from the audience. So that's great. Keep those questions coming in. So, guys, Erica and Riyadh, this is a power-packed scene, right? Like you guys are at college, and you're still, kind of. It feels a little bit like puppy love in that you're taking a risk. You're asking about kissing, and you're being vulnerable and he's got his ego, but then he says, no, it was in my dreams, right? But then you do some other stuff, like you're expressing yourself through Greek mythology, right? And African mythology, and you got philosophy going on, right? So for you all, what does that mean for you? I would start with you, Erica, to be able to, define who you are, or the character to define who she is from a African mythology.
Well, first off, I truly love the way that Victor wrote this character as someone that was well knowledgeable when it came to Greek and African mythology. Just because, like, being a young African American, like growing up in school, I never learned any of that. I never knew who Oshun was until later in my life. So being able to showcase that to the audience, I felt was really, really important because it's showing, a young, successful African American woman, which is, to be honest, not seen as much these days when it comes to these type of roles. So yeah, I think that it is amazing, to be seen in that light.
So thank you. So Curtis or Riyadh, I'm going to ask you because there seemed to have been an urgency with you. You're like, seize the day, carpe diem. Now is the time, right? And he's like, I like you. What was it that you experienced? Because it conveyed what was going on for you. as far as what you felt. I heard you say at one point in time you knew the moment you saw her.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you said something that was very interesting when you were initially setting up the question, right? You said this is kind of like a puppy love, right? And I almost want to push back on that a little bit, because them being at the age that they are, young and in college, they don't have a whole lot of the stressors that adulthood might bring, right? So they don't have this, or at least Curtis, for example, his perception of love isn't so cloudy, right? It's almost, he's at this moment when he can feel everything unabashedly, right, and unequivocally. And he has found the person that makes him feel that sunshine every time he looks at her, right? Like the song says, right? He found the person that he wants to school him in the things that he doesn't know. He found all of those things. And when you find those things, you know you're ready for whatever comes next, right? You know, and so you have that carpe diem attitude, and you're ready to seize the day, and you just want the other person to feel that way too.
I love it. I mean, we're going to take a question from the audience. So is there a difference in how male and females see relationships? Would you all say that there's a difference? And let me set that up. I heard her say, I like you, maybe like 5 times, right? And I'm not sure. I felt like she did, but I also felt like she was, convincing herself. And I heard you say, like is not love, right? But it's a beginning. So is there a difference though in the way that men and women, or male and female, and I don't want to get in trouble. This is the audience questions because I don't want to get in trouble with the gender stuff. But is there a difference, would you all say?
Well, I will say there is definitely a difference. But when it came to my character, she had so many other influences on her. For example, her sisters. Her sisters didn't want her to start a relationship. A part of me feels like it could have been out of jealousy. Where it's like, oh, she has somebody, we don't, type of thing. And then the other reason being, yes, we're trying to be successful. We don't have time for love, and I think that definitely plays out. Like, as a female, we do sometimes, especially in this day and age, we have those type of influences, but it's different. Does this guy have a good job? Does he have money? Can he support you? And then that makes you think, well, do I like him? No, I like him. Do I like him? No, I like him. So it's that fighting struggle. Yes.
So Curtis, the audience wants to know, how does Curtis know she is the one? And I want to say, without a job, right? And with the dream, right? How do you know that she is the one?
For sure. Well, just look at what Curtis is, right? Curtis isn't necessarily a guy who's, I think, hurting for affection, right? I think, right, we talk about how he's tall and strong, right? And if we're going off of stereotypes, right, he's an athlete. I'm sure he's heavily sought after, right? And so when you can look at all of these different, your eye can go in so many different directions, but it's just, it keeps coming back to this same person. And unlike a whole lot of other people who it may be on the surface or it might be infatuation, he can rattle off these things about her, right? It's one of those things, like, I don't know that love at first sight is necessarily a thing, but I do think that you can know something at first sight. I think that you can, and I think that at first sight, he knew something, he felt something. Going in a little deeper, he started to see more and more in her that attracted him, more that enticed him, more that pulled him in. And at that point, he's hooked.
Yes. All right. So I wanna take another question from the audience, and then actually before I do that, I want to open it up to any of you to respond to this. So I'm wondering, and I see these things, but what role would you all say that vulnerability plays in this for either character? And Victor, you're welcome to answer that too, and then I'll throw another one in there in negotiation, right? Because I feel like there was a little negotiation dance going on, right? Quid pro quo, right? Like, what role does vulnerability, negotiation plays in this, and also maybe sacrifice?
The way men are raised and women are raised, the way we are educated to look for things in life, in a way they are similar, but they are very different. In a way, I think Muriel, she has to find, as being a woman who has goals, even though at this point she has her priorities, she's still tempted to look at this guy, and she likes him. He might be right, and the sense I get from her is that she's willing to show vulnerability what she shows once in a while, because at the same time she has her goals, but she doesn't want to lose him.
Mhm.
Women has to learn to balance. I mean, women know how to do that very well. To balance, I don't, to balance it, to keep the eye on the prize, and at the same time know when to have fun, as doing the right choice.
So, Muriel, one of the audience members says, you seem to have put your singing on the line. How do you know Curtis is worth the risk? And let me set that up before you answer that. When I look at you, I like, you are beautiful and you are goal oriented, right? Like I can see it. Now I believe he's there. I'm not sure, what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, cause you've already said, like, I'm singing, I'm late. I was dealing with Professor Johnson, right? And he's writing love songs, right? So I want to know how do you know that he is worth the risk? And risk was one of the words that I had too.
I personally, great question from the audience member. Thank you. I don't think she knows that this is a risk because she's never experienced love before. As you heard me say many times, I've never kissed anyone but my mom, my dad, and my sisters. I don't think I even know really what love is. But I feel that Curtis was able to tell me, these are the reasons why I like you, and you should be able to see that I want you more than just what the other guys think, which you referenced. So I don't think she sees this as a risk. I think she just sees it as, this guy loves me and I like him, so I'm just going to go for it. So yeah.
All right. So let me ask this. This is for the character. What does it mean for you for him to come to the show, right? And what does it mean for you, for the character Curtis, for her to go to the movies with you the next day? So what is that, him coming to the show? Because the dynamic sort of changed, right? First he was pursuing, and then when he was like, your sisters, right? And he was like, come, I'll sing a song for you. Right. So what did that mean for you?
It honestly meant the world to me, because I felt like he's not just investing in who I am as a person, but he wants to see me successful as a singer as well. So I definitely think it meant the world to her. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what does it mean to Curtis?
Yeah, I think that for Curtis, he gets to feel something that's now mutual. I think that he spends so much time chasing after Muriel, and then he gets to a point where she's like, you know what? I understand my sisters aren't necessarily a fan of yours. I know that like my singing conflicts with what you're trying to do, but come into my world a little bit, right? And she gives him that come into my world, come to the show, and he's like, okay, you know what? I see you extending that to me. Can you meet me where I am, and can you go out with me? Just the two of us, right? We're not, I see you in between classes, not, you know, we exchange looks. No, me and you by ourselves, right? It's that tit for tat, right? And it means a whole lot to him because he's now seeing that she's gonna take a leap. She's
Yeah,
taking a step.
you broke down the layers. I was adding to that. You broke down the layers in me to make me feel, you know, like, you know what, I should welcome him in, because as you can see throughout the scene, you know, I had a wall put up. I wanted him to prove to me why he likes me so much, you know, and yeah, so he broke down those layers, and yeah, it was good. It was good.
Okay, so I think as a final question, absolutely.
Can I ask a question? Okay. So I found it very interesting, Muriel, that when you said the line, that's lust and not love,
That's
right?
lust.
So being a woman, right? I just wonder if you had any male mentors. I remember, and I think I shared this with Victor, that when my father gave me a little pointers from a male point of view, you know, in terms of
my brothers did too.
if a guy says this doesn't mean love. So when you said that line, in terms of the character and you as Erica, are there any male factors, you know, maybe backstory in terms of Muriel, or just what you would bring to the table as Erica? Like, what does that line mean when you said that line, or just in life, you know, like,
well, in life, and I shared this with Victor and Riyadh when we first met. This scene is basically my life story, and like in literally a nutshell. My parents got married to this song, "Always and Forever," you know, and those that like truly know me know that I am like a workaholic, you know, and I work all the time, and it's because, you know, I'm aiming to be very, very successful. And it's like, you know, males do come in, Erica, I want to take you out, Erica, this, that. And it's like, no, like I have to work, I have to do this. And it's like, it brings me back to, you know, growing up, where my brothers would always influence me and tell me, you know what, if guys say this, if they do this, it only means one thing. You know, so I think even with my character, it was the same thing. It was like her sisters influenced her, basically saying, you know what, no, you're not supposed to do these type of things until you're in a relationship with someone, you know. And I think that with him always saying, I just want to kiss you, I want to kiss you, I'm thinking, no, that's just lust, that's not love, you know. So I think that, yeah, this whole scene told my whole life story. There you go, everybody.
Nikki, that was a powerful question, Nikki. Very powerful. It sort of reminded me of Steve Harvey's book, Think Like a Man, right? He's talking, and that's I want to sort of build on that too a little bit. So 3 months, right? I feel like for Curtis, 3 months was a little different than what it was for Muriel, right? And so Curtis, tell us what 3 months meant for you, because a part of that was waiting for that kiss, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't
for
think.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. It may not have been different.
No, after you.
You can take it.
I think like when you have like genuine admiration and affection, you really care about somebody. From the moment they entice you, you almost, and I'm sure I'm not the only one to do this, but you replay all of these scenarios in your head, right? You daydream about them constantly. So yeah, it's been 3 months, but that's 3 months of nonstop thinking about you, right? So it's not really 3 months. It's it's almost like I've seen so much with you so far. You know what I mean? And I think that that's where Curtis is at the moment. but she hasn't necessarily had that same experience, so she's got to catch up.
Well, no, I think she saw it as more as, even to this day and age, it's like it's an investment, you know, because as you said, like, we've never been on a date before, we've never seen each other outside of school, you know, so it's like, to me, 3 months, okay, I don't even really know you, you know. So I think that was my character's mindset. It's like, I don't know you. It's only been 3 months, you know. So yeah.
And that is so key. What's interesting, and this is for anyone, including you, Nikki. And I have to be careful of the gender things, but at the end of the day, you know, even at both spectrums of gender, there is male and female. But when a man decides that, when he sees the one that he thinks is the one, like when he says, you know, that's my wife, right? It's different from when a woman says, oh, that's my husband, right? And it seems, and I don't know if it's male privilege or whatever. And I'm this should be a question. So have you all experienced that as something different when you, and part of it, let me build it up. A part of it is that I think men often are waiting, like they're holding out. Right, they're trying to, you know, wait for the best one, and they've got all the peer pressure of other men, right? And whereas a woman is like, no, like I maybe I want to get started on our family, like I don't have all that time to wait. But could that be valid? Is there a difference when a man sees that this is the one, and when a woman says this is my husband? Nikki?
Okay, so I think that for a woman's standpoint, like there are a lot of measures, right? I think we tend to factor in, like, I think, well, I'm going to speak for myself, right? I think we tend to go like 10 steps ahead, maybe 5 years or 2 years ahead. And we tend to see, like, you know, there's a whole season thing. Like, you know, you want to date someone to see these seasons. Okay, for me, I don't think it's really seasons. It's more emotions. You want to see people, how they are in certain different types of emotions. So you want to see their character, right? So I think for a woman's standpoint, there is a sense of security. Security doesn't necessarily mean financial security. It means all the realms in terms of support, love. You know, would I have a baby with this guy? You know, would I not? You know, how would my kids be? You know, are they goal oriented? You know, it tends to measure into that. So I think there is such thing as love at first sight. You know, you can meet someone and say, oh my God, there's something about this person. You just don't know what it is. And you kind of want to hang out with them and figure out what it is. But, you know, I think for a woman's standpoint, we tend to look at those things. But then, however, there is a coyness about us. Like, you know, like, I've met a lot of women that, you know, it's like, for me, like, I'll measure a relationship pretty much how the woman reacts. Like, I see a lot of women and they still have that innocence to them. They still have that, no matter how old they are, they still have that coyness. And that right there lets me know that she's in love, right? This is something that is longevity. You know, this is something that this person has checked all the boxes, whatever they have been. So I think it's not as, you know, we have lust too, you know, we do. We have these crazy fantasies, but, you know, I can't speak for a man, but I do think there is a measure, because we tend to take things a little bit more serious, you know, like, okay, I want to have fun with you, but let's get back to business. You know, I don't know.
So I think you've said a lot of key things. I don't know where we are as far as time, but I do want to just hit a few of those, and then we can say goodnight. I think the difference that you said, so with a woman, she has moved up in time. Like, she's 5 years ahead, is what you said. She's thinking about children and all that. And he is counting every day of 3 months, right? He is waiting for that kiss. I think another thing that you said that is key is the difference sometimes. And I've experienced this in therapy, you know, with my clients. A man's insecurity is often, well, let's start off with a woman's insecurity. A woman's, it's about security, like, who's going to make sure that things are taken care of, right? And that's a maternal thing. It's not just about gold digging. It's like, you know, this mortgage has to be paid, and that makes me feel safe, right? And that makes me, a man's insecurity is, sometimes it's to please, right? Did I do a good job, right? Particularly physically, right? So you want to really affect a man and make him question himself, right? His insecurities are more internal, and a woman's insecurities a lot of times can be external.
Mhm.
I think that's key. And there was one other point, but I think we are out of time. This has been very rich and robust. Thank you, audience. Thank you, cast members. Thank you, writer. Thank you, producer. How are we on time?
Yeah, we
Is
still have a few minutes.
we have
We
a few
still have a
minutes?
few minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So is there something, Victor, I want to bring it back to you. So this is a love story. I guess I'm thinking about today's setting, right? Which is very polarized, which what's going on in our country right now, right? And so to see a couple in 1976, a Black couple, right, experiencing love, right, may not be what when we first see them, right, it may not be what we would think about, right, as the audience member. Were you trying to bring some type of juxtaposition, right, where what people, the narrative that society writes, and then there's the true narrative, right? Were you giving that to us? So society says that, Black men may be playing football, maybe rapping, maybe harming each other, right? But we don't see them often in college. And the times we do, there's something on TV about hazing during college. I'm just trying to think of other ones. So when you're going for this scene, are you saying something to society about Black love?
Yes. My main goal with this scene is to show that um, men can be vulnerable, men can fall in love sincerely, and women can believe them. And we can, especially in the Black community, in the African American community, there's a sense of distrust that was put in us to always suspect and discredit one another. And I think the way Muriel and Kurt's relationship comes about, it is about to show that everything's possible, that when you really love somebody and somebody really loves you, there's nothing that's gonna can destroy that. And there's nothing more powerful than two human beings falling in love and being there for one another, being protective of one another, and making a good example for everybody to see, because that's what we need at this time, especially in our community more than ever. We need to trust one another and rediscover what the meaning of family really is, because it has been changed throughout the centuries how family should be perceived, especially African American family. And I think since slavery time, colonial time, our community has been through so much that it's just incredible how we have survived to all these odds, and we still managed to come together and love, respect, and grow together. And I think that's the formula. It's to trust one another, fall in love with one another, and show the world who we really are.
Okay, thank you. So the audience has said that you guys are so cute together that they love you all, right? I love that. Is what the audience. I'm just telling you what the audience says. So we have a few more minutes. Let's talk a little bit about the difference between like and love, right? Because like was said a lot. Like Muriel, you said like at least 4 or 5 times, right?
Five
And
times.
yeah, I feel like it got stronger and stronger. Right? So, and Curtis, you've already told us it's the beginning, but what would you say is the difference for you, Muriel?
I personally think that I'm scared to tell him I love him, because as I mentioned, she doesn't know what love is besides the love that she gets from her family. So her saying love is very foreign. So that's why when she says, I like you, I think that's her communicating, like, I do love you, but I can't tell you that word, you know? So, so yeah, so that's why I think that's why she kept making it a strong point, so that he would get it without saying, hey, can you just tell me you love me because I love you?
Yes. Curtis, what's the difference, Riyadh, the difference between the like and love for you in this setting?
Yeah, for sure. I think the way that Curtis is kind of internalizing it is that is almost on the surface. However, he sees like as the entry point to love, right? So, okay, you like me? All right. That's a start. That's a start. I can work with this. If I keep digging, if I keep figuring out what's here, if you get me on a one-on-one setting, just you and me, and we got all the time in the world, I can prove to you that it's not just like, you know what I mean? And that really it's love here. You just gotta
Sounds
let
like
me pull back
lust
those
to
layers.
me.
She would say that.
Yes. Because why do you need a one-on-one setting to prove it?
Because there's so much noise, right? There's her singing, there's football, there's her sisters, all of this chat. They're always on the go, right? When they do meet, she doesn't have much time. Okay, let's strip that away. You know what? Because when you really sit down with this brother, you're gonna find that there's more than just tall and strong, right? And I've already discovered that there's more to you than just eloquence and beauty, right? So it's time for you to like learn that about
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So,
Jack.
so Curtis, I'm gonna play the righteous advocate for a little bit, only because I don't like playing the devil's advocate. So is she the one, the only one? Does this mean that, even before marriage, as far as you're concerned, does this mean that you will be able to forsake others on this college campus?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. When you're at the point that
Y'all, he's smooth.
You're smooth, brother.
I'm saying, you're at the point where you're dreaming about her every single night, right? You could be dreaming about all these you can be chasing all these, but you're chasing one, right? You're constantly thinking about one. You're only trying to get the affection of one, right? That's just the beginning. I'm not singing always and forever just because it sounds nice. No, I'm singing always and forever because that's what I mean.
Okay, I got to challenge that. We've got 2 minutes, and I need you to just take 30 seconds, because that's a level of maturation that we don't often see in 19-year-old men or 18-year-old, right? So does that mean, like, how do you know? Are you ready to take this as far as it go, or are you thinking you're ready to take this to marriage?
I think that in this moment, he's uncertain about what he might be doing 30 years from now, 40 years from now. However, what he does know is that he wants to be doing it alongside her, right?
Mhm.
So there's not a whole lot that you can be certain about at 19. At 19 for me, there's a whole lot that I didn't know, right? But there's the things that you do know at 19, you hold on to, and he's trying to hold on to her for dear life.
True. One of the things that I'd like to point is that, for example, I was looking for inspiration in the 70s, and I went and I found that song "Always and Forever" that says everything about what I was trying to convey. And someone just asked here, do you have a song that a love song, a favorite love song? Someone is asking. Janet is asking. That's for everybody.
I love that question. I've got a few.
I do too.
Anita Baker took me to love before I even knew what love was. So yeah, I've got a few Anita Bakers. I got some Stevie. I've got some Marvin. Yeah, so I've got a few. And some Jeffrey Osborne. I'm sorry, guys. This is not about me. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I know Anita Baker, but the other ones, I might have to
I'm
Google
dating
later. But there's a song by Avant, "My First Love," and
Yes.
and that definitely that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, the two that come to my mind for sure, that I fell in love with very young were "Knocks Me Off My Feet" by Stevie Wonder and "Just My Imagination" by the Temptations.
Okay, you don't have to keep acting. Like you can jump out of Curtis.
Okay. One of the songs that I like to listen as also for inspiration, because I'm not from here. I was born in another country, and even when I heard that song for the first time, I didn't know what it meant, but I really liked just the sound of everything was put together. And then when I came to America and I learned English, and then I learned all the songs, and I was diving into all of this. Kiss and Say Goodbye by the Manhattans. And that song was just like, it's not what I thought it was, but it takes me to places. And it's a beautiful song that I enjoy listening.
Yeah, don't start the love songs, because I've got Jeffrey Melvin and the Blue Notes. Oh, I miss you. But I want to bring it up to date. Music Soul Child's Love, right?
Yes.
Right. That encapsulates sort of it for me. Okay, we are at the 8 o'clock hour. If there are any other things that you would like to share, if not,
yeah, I'd like to share. I'd like to pinpoint the reason why we're doing this live. We're supposed to be in theater at this point, but due to the pandemic, we have to do this online. But I hope that people can get involved and learn a little bit more about us and about what we do, because we have been working for 5 years, as I mentioned before, in the Bronx and in Manhattan. And the goal of my place is really to educate people and take people to places where they can reflect about our situation and inspire people to make better decisions, informed decisions. Because we also work with unprivileged cities, and then our main goal is to let people know about what we are all about, and be aware of what happened in our society, and learn how to take care of ourselves as citizens. And approaching that scene, I mean, I had to start with which I never had before. The first time I have a scene that I show where love really begins, the essence of love between a man and a woman, the beginning of a real family, where later, I believe, if you are curious to know how these two are going to end up, you got to come and check the theater when you are in theater, because it's a beautiful story that I think everybody should see. And I'm very proud to have written this play, because even though this play was primarily a one-shot play, one-acted play, it was taken to a festival and it was awarded we were able to win 2 awards, Best Play and Best Actress. But the message that it was conveyed and how people reacted to that play, it made me so full of pride, because I really dived into something that I was not even expecting. The way people were reacting, it moved me to tears, because I saw people get involved with the characters and people get emotional during the play. And I remember one lady saying that this play should be seen by everybody because of the content and about who these characters are, because they think they are seeing something, but they are seeing something else. And it's a great lesson for everybody, for how Kurtz and Muriel come together and how they grow from there. They have obstacles, they have challenges, but in the end, they find a way to manage everything and stay together. The sisters and the obstacles that they have now is nothing compared to what's coming their way in the future. So I think it's a lesson for every family, and I think everybody should see that play. Come to support us in the theater. Follow us on social media. You can check us on Instagram, Facebook. Moments of Truth. And then you can also Google my name and you're going to find information. And if you want to support us, feel free. And we can't wait to go back to theater and start this conversation all over again. If anybody wants to share anything, the floor is open.
Well, it was such a pleasure. This is actually, I believe, it's my first time as well working on live stream, taking theater into a small frame. But it was a really, really good experience. They came together, and the actors, Riyadh and Erica, y'all did a very, very good job. And I definitely look forward to working with you all again in the future. And Chad, thank you so much, because your input from the standpoint of relationship actually was, I think, knowledge for all of us. I mean, it's good. We got some free information and just insight, but thank you very much for joining us for the talk back and the Q&A.
Absolutely. Yes. My pleasure. And everybody loves a good love story, and we need this. So thank you all. We all want to believe in love, even for those of us who have had, hard times with it, right? So this is fortifying. So thank you, Victor, and great job, everyone.
And I also want to do a shout out. We actually we work with a guy named Lamont out of Orlando. The name of his company is Platinum Media. He is the one who actually is behind the scenes, behind the curtains, as he say.
Yes.
He is actually the tech person who is putting this on and making
the magic happen.
So if you all could look him up, his name is Lamont. What's his last name? Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen. He's with Platinum Media from Orlando. He did a phenomenal. So thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And Erica,
no, I just wanted to say thank you, Victor, for having me a part of the team, and Nikki, Chad, everybody. Riyadh, it was a pleasure working with you as well. And thank you to the audience. I can't see you, but I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. And if you want to learn more about me, just type in Erica DeGraff, and we'll go from there. Thank you all.
And also, I'm sorry, there's one more thing that we definitely have to, I save this the best for last. This Q&A was sponsored by the
Bronx Council on the Arts,
yes,
who have been supporting us for quite some time, and they always support and bring quality to the Bronx and to the community in the Bronx, from the Bronx, and it's a pleasure. This would not be possible without them as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And follow us on social media. Once again, follow us on social media, because we're gonna have all the information there, and we are planning to have display next year in the actual theater. And I can't wait to see this happen, because it's been a while, and I just want this to be over.
And Mary Tierney, there's a shout out for you.
Yes.
We know that you're in the audience, and she's someone who is very influential in the Lower East Side, and she's very, very special to both of us. So thank you for joining us, Mary Tierney.
Yes. I think I had another quick reminder that we're going to have 2 more performances, but before the end of the year, we have 2 more online performances, and I ask everybody again to just go to our social media and follow us and get all the information and support us the way you can. And I drop the mic.
So with that said, we will say thank you and good night.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.